folks, this is Bella, and I've had a lot, there's Bella. I've had a lot of replies and comments on my video that I put out. I did a couple comment calls on it, and this is going to be another comment call on my video. And it's regarding, the video title is the video PetSmart does not want you to see regarding the truth on their grooming. So I'm just going to tell you a little story real quick about how this all happened. And we were going to go on vacation. We've never had the dog groomed before. We were going to go on vacation, and my husband said, oh, I saw an ad for PetSmart. They have this service. It's called Rapid Service, where they never leave your dog alone. And why don't we give her a nice grooming before we go on vacation? So I said, okay. So I called, and I got it for a Sunday, and they said, no problem. We made the appointment. We get there. It's a Sunday. And that's when they informed us that our groomer, they never called us to cancel the appointment. They waited till we got there, and they said our groomer had called in sick. But we have another girl that's, look at how she's looking at me. We have another girl, another groomer, I should say. Doesn't matter if she's female or male. That's new, that she's going to take care of your dog. And I said, wait a minute, is she any good? They said, oh yeah, she works, she's in training, but she's worked for years in her mom's grooming salon. She knows all about it. I said, well, does she know about Pomeranians? Oh yeah. She's never been in a cage, so that's why I wanted the rapid service where you don't leave her alone. And they said, okay, no problem. So they put the leash around her, and they started to walk her, and she was freaking out like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I said, oh, she walks, but you can't pull her like that, and she's nervous. Why don't you pick her up? I said, why are you taking her in the back? They said, oh, she has to have a bath right now. We're going to take her in the bath. That's where we give them a bath. So they pulled her, they said, oh, she's got to walk. And so I said, okay, as long as she's going in the back, right there in that same parking lot, they had a fast food restaurant. So we ran in there. I said, we'll get an order to go, and then we'll bring it to go. Well, when I was in line paying for the food, they called me, and they said, oh, you got to pick up your dog right now. I said, what? They said, oh, she's in the cage. I said, the cage? They didn't call it a cage. They called it a crate. And she won't let anybody touch her, and she's growling, and she's being aggressive. I said, aggressive? I said, this is the Pomeranian. That's 5 pounds. And so that's the story. So we had to go pick her up, and they said, oh, you get her in. I said, well, my husband can go get her out of the crate in the back. And they said, well, we have to call because it's a Sunday. We don't have a manager here. We have to call the manager on the phone if it's okay to bring you in the back, because we don't let the public in the back. So finally the manager said, okay, let the husband go in the back and get the dog. So that's what happened. And then he went back there. He said, wow, there was barking, crates stacked on top of each other, and dogs barking, and he got her out of there. And I said, why did you put her in a crate when I specifically am paying for the rapid service, more money, so you're never supposed to leave the dog? They said, oh, because the girl that we had doing your dog, she had to do 2 dogs at the same time. And I said, well, that doesn't sound right, because that's not what you're saying about rapid service. Well, and so we had to put her in there while we're waiting to bathe her. Or I don't know if it was the girl couldn't do the rapid service, or if they have a bather that was doing 2 dogs. I don't know, but something was so fishy that I just said, okay. So then I took the dog, I went home, and I went online about this, and what I found online about how they have a history of dogs dying in their service. So anyway, that's my story. So now I'm going to read to you the comments I have gotten on this video. And some are nice and some are not nice. The first one is, oh, beautiful little, it says little baby puffball. The next one says, hi, I work in a PetSmart grooming salon, and I want to say my comment is in no way defending PetSmart. I hate them as a company since working there. Wow, that's not a good sign. But I wanted to clear up a couple things, hopefully just to give some understanding, because it sounds like they didn't give you much explanation. In the check-in process, there are certain things we are required to do, like having the dog take a few steps. They check out camera in our salon to make sure they do this because someone reported we weren't. And if this is so, the pet has a limp, they can pull out the footage and say, hey, your dog didn't have the limp coming in here. They check the ears, the skin, the teeth, and the nails for preconditioning conditions. Also, she says, as for the aggressive comment, I have not worked with dogs before this, but I will say the job has really opened my eyes to the fact that dogs are still animals before there are pets. I've seen very nice dogs be incredibly aggressive. They're not used to the environment and they don't know the people around them. This makes them act very different than the pet you know at home. The kennel room is pretty scary looking and out because of the dryers, but your pet is only in a grooming salon for a couple hours. We do multiple dogs at once. A groomer will cut a dog while the other dog in the kennel is drying. This is just what happens anywhere you bring your dog. Any groomer, even the vet, puts your dog in a kennel. Well, my vet doesn't because we're not at all. We hold the dog the whole time we're there. But you did get an express service. Your dog shouldn't have been put in a kennel at all. Apostrophe, apostrophe, apostrophe. I just want to say PetSmart is a very money-hungry company. My salon is very, very, very busy, and we're understaffed. That had been one time I had to set an express down to help hold the dog for nails. A lot of dogs are aggressive for nails, she said, like most dogs. It's not right they put her in the kennel, but I can understand it from the groomer. It's just a very difficult job. Animals are unpredictable. I've had dogs my whole life. They're not the same in a grooming. I still love them to pieces and would never hurt a dog, but I'm very careful at work because I'm afraid someone may think I'm hurting a dog. I'll wait for customers to walk out sometimes before a dog starts crying. As soon as I try to pick it up a paw, they cry and scream before they even touch them. Some dogs just hate that much, even though I'm not hurting them. People have to remember grooming is not to pamper your dog. It is for the health of your dog. And them not like grooming is the same and them not liking the vet. Ha! Well, she was so honest. She was so honest. That was from, I have to tell you who that was from, Lauren Joan. That was a really good comment. The next one is from Jack Brown. He says, screw you, Karen. Stop spoiling your dog. Now, I had no clue what Karen meant. I asked my husband, I said, wonder why he's calling me Karen. That's not my name. And my husband explained to me what Karen means. Isn't it too funny? So that was his explanation, calling me a name, that I spoil my dog. So you can't go by what the comments are. Okay, the next one is, wow, this one's a lot. This is from Cyberpunk 2077. And they said, come to PetSmart, the best place where we take good care of our animals in need, aka the best dog grooming store ever award. This is from Gianna. Think of how many PetSmart there are in the world, and only 47 have passed. Oh my goodness, 47 only. We see dogs that are so old they can barely stand, but the pet parents insist on bringing them. Dogs can also become very stressed during grooming. If your dog has a breathing challenge, you should know that and try to groom at home. First, my dog doesn't have a breathing challenge. She's young. very young. First, PetSmart is not allowed to give anything, she says in capitals, to your dog, even treats, unless they are supplied by you. They aren't even allowed to take your dog if your dog is under any sort of sedative. A lot of dogs can become aggressive when they aren't around the owner, which in turn puts the groomer and your dog at risk. Second, PetSmart groomers go through 800 hours of training. That's crazy. They have to groom 200 dogs before they become fully certified. So if you are taking your dog to a groomer there, they have been taught how to groom just about every breed. Third, standing outside the window is strongly not recommended. Your dog may see you, that normally causes them to try and get you. Make it difficult for the groomer to groom. Also, did you think there weren't kennels in a grooming salon? Who is this girl? I just said I'm paying more money so she doesn't go in a kennel. Do you know how many dogs there are at once? Kennels are a necessity and are large enough for each dog, especially a Pomeranian. She definitely had tons of room in the kennel, so please stop trying to base these people that are just doing their jobs because of your dog's action. Well, so she says, what she's saying is, that's the way it is, even though you pay the extra money. I'm just getting at, don't pay the extra money for this service, because you're not going to get the extra. You're not going to get it. You just are not going to get the rapid service. It's okay. A positive comment. This is from Cody S. He says, I understand, maybe it's a girl, I don't know. It says, I understand completely that you love your dog, but you very clearly have plenty of time. So why don't you groom your dog yourself? I wrote back to Cody. I said, Cody, you are so correct. I have been trimming her myself. She looks a bit sloppy, but I am trying. The reason that I wanted to try a groomer is because as I get older, I am trying to I'm retired, semi-retired. I'm trying to make my life easier. All you people that are retired, you know that you have to simplify and make easier because your fingers and your back and your legs. And I said, haha, so far that isn't happening. And then Cody replied, I think it will be good for you and your doggy for you to continue to do it yourself. That makes life easier than self-sufficient and bonding with your dog while it gets her hair done. Oh, that's cute. Okay, that was a good comment. That was a nice comment. It wasn't nasty. This one is Barbara Odom. She said, oh goodness, this is not a nice one. Barbara Odom. This is pretty ridiculous. If your dog has never been professionally groomed, then of course she's going to freak out when you leave her alone for the first time. You would probably be better off going to a private salon where you can speak with the head groomer or owner in person and explain that you're a helicopter pet parent and you'd prefer that your dog doesn't go into a cage, which could be pretty unrealistic since she probably won't react well to the forced dryer and will need to be kenneled to finish drying. Also, newsflash, dogs bark. Pomeranians are dogs. They're normally, oh goodness, she said the F-bomb. You brush them, dry them, tidy them up, and send them on their way. Possibly one of the simplest dogs to effing groom. And don't say your dog isn't aggressive. Of course she's cute and sweet with you. She's used to you and your annoyance. Just FYI, groomers hate, H-A-T-E, clients like you. We loathe them and personally wish people like you would fall off the planet. I wouldn't take you on if you were offer me $300. And finally, if your dog, she said, can only walk when she's in a harness, she doesn't walk like a show dog. You're just shuffling. That dog isn't trained very well. Behave enough to be. Well, this girl was so nice. I'm just telling you, this is really a sad, sad story that she is a groomer. because I work in healthcare, and I would never talk about my patients like that. And I could tell stories, but I'm doing it because I feel like I have a gift to be good to patients. And for her to just say, call me the F-bomb, and she hates pet parents like me, we're the one paying her wages. So I think this is a terrible, terrible, that girl needs a new job. Here's a positive comment. This one is from Nickel. He said, I only go to PetSmart to get my dog's nails cut. Thankfully, nothing has happened yet. After watching this, I would be very concerned bringing my dog in the future for any grooming. And he said, your dog is so cute. Here's another negative comment. This is from Goblin Queen. She said, she's a Karen. Talking about me, I'm a Karen. And her dog is poorly trained. And I wrote back, this is when I had to ask my husband. I said, thanks for viewing. I just found out what apostrophe Karen means. I had to ask my husband. In my day, we called it something else, not Karen. I said, peace out. Here's from the Black Sheep. I work, oh my goodness, here's another one. This is from the Black Sheep. I work at Petco. So Petco is totally different. This is about PetSmart. I work at Petco, and this person did not handle the Zoom, she called it Zoom grooming, but it's called rapid service, correctly. They said, do not put the dog in the cage. I work with kennel aggressive dogs all the time, and guess what? I don't put them in the cage. I put them in the kennel. I stayed with them. And then I wrote her back. I said to her, the Black Sheep, I said, there should be more people like you running the other grooming stores. And then Black Sheep wrote back, she said, I'm really sorry that happened to you, and how rude they were, to absolutely unacceptable. The next one is from, oh wow, this is terrible. This is really terrible. This is from Christy Elena. She said, wow, this makes me sad. I shouldn't even read it. She said, as a retired dog groomer, I can say so much abuse goes on in the industry in general. However, an individual dog, all dogs will behave one way with their pack family versus strangers in a strange setting or outside their territory pack. Just as humans, this is an undeniable fact. And in my many years as working in this industry, starting at such places, in fact, smaller dog breeds are more prone to aggressive within the grooming environment. I'm sure she is a loving baby, and I'm sorry this happened to you both, as no animal deserves. However, it is always stated to train your dog before starting a new regimen, so that they know what to expect, and I will have a calm, relaxing, nice, gentle experience. So that, you know, she's right. She's right. I just, you know, she loves baths, and she loves getting the blow dryer, and she loves being brushed. So we were just trying to just, you know, make life a little bit easy. That's all I can say. And we messed up. This is from Ashley. She says, I brought my Pomeranian, who looks just like yours, to PetSmart, and they refused to pick her up, so we left. Remember, the lady said the reason they don't pick them up, they want them to walk? She said, pick him up, so we left. Petco treats dogs better, and small local groomers can be good too. You should check Yelp. Always read reviews first. And this is from Micah Saunders. It's PetSmart's rules that we can't have them off the ground for too long, or we can get in trouble. So Here's Ashley. I regret going to Groomers after the warnings. I switched to Petco. A lot of people switch to Petco. So let's see another one. This is from Mellu, M-E-L-L-U. She says, well, if you have that many special requests. I don't have a special request. They offer that service. So don't say that. That's like if you want butter and sour cream on your potato, they offer it. You're not just being fussy that you said, I want that on there. They say, oh, you can have it loaded on your potato or not. Fried fish or broiled fish. She's saying, I want special requests. Well, if you have that many special requests and treatments, don't be upset. It can be fulfilled. A dog can't stay outside in the salon. Debris, feces, and bodily things can come in contact with, and that's a biohazardous concern. Every other dog that comes in is scared because owners have not gotten them used to a place like that from puppies. If you want the carry my dog as long as it's there treatment, you better off hiring a private groomer. Karen. Here we go again with Karen. As far as dogs barking, as well as, of course, nobody wants to be a cage, but they can't just let all dogs hang out with each other in the open air. That's liability. Dogs are not meant to be there for long. So you have to suck it up. Evidently, she's not familiar with the advertisement for the PetSmart. They advertise this special service, and trust me, you're paying for it. You really, really are paying for it. So I don't know why she's saying that, like suck it up. I mean, she's, oh, I can't believe it. People are so funny. They want to put a fancy name on a service, but then they want to treat them all the same. So you shouldn't advertise. That's false advertising. I have so many comments that I think this is going to do it for today. But I just wanted to read some of them to you because a lot of people, especially the seniors, their children, they're empty nesters, and they treat their dogs, their pets, like their own babies, and they love them so much. So young people can't just say, oh, get over it, they're a dog, because they're not a dog, they're your family member. So I hope this video with the comments enlightened you. So far, I've had a lot of negative response about the service at PetSmart, and I just wanted to pass it on because I was ignorant. I didn't do my research before we went there. It was just spur of the moment. We were going on vacation, and we thought, oh, she'll get, before we leave, and take her all over, because everywhere we stop when we go on vacation, when we travel, everybody says, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so cute, she's so beautiful. So I just wanted her nice and clean. So thank you so much for viewing. Like in a month, I'll post a couple more comments that I get. I'll share them with you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.